The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. From the heart of Broadway in historic downtown Cape Girardeau, this is Pro Wrestling Unscripted.
It's November 28th.
I had somebody at work correct me. It's the only reason I knew it.
Hope you guys survived the Turkey Madness and the Black Friday insanity. We took a week off, but we are now back with Pro Wrestling Unscripted right here on the Podzilla 1985 Network. My name is Shannon Young. I'm going to be your host tonight, along with the five-star man, Asa Gray, down at the end of the table.
Yes.
Allie, not actually A, but going to draw a bear. To my right.
Hello.
And the big D, Dalton Anthony.
Yo.
Who, I like your hair.
Thank you. We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. All right. We missed a lot. Like, we missed a lot of stuff over the last week. It was actually a little bit surprising how much we missed, and I think we all kind of regretted taking the week off, but we also kind of deserve a week off occasionally. My God, we do so many shows, and we work so hard outside of this show, so it was important to take a moment to ourselves to rest, but we're back now. Let's start off with the news and notes of the week, and we're going to start off very personally real quick. One of our close friends, and it's not usual in this business. Whenever we say stuff, like we'll say Xavier Woods, close personal friend of the show.
But he is.
Yeah,
he follows me on Twitter.
He follows you, and we played over Battleborn with him, and it's not always as true as we make it sound. But this one is absolutely true. Our good friend Marco Stunt, the internet's hottest wrestler right now. I mean, he's one of wrestling's hottest commodities. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, Marco, who was our CCW champion as well, and again. Before Marco we're the hipsters, because before Marco was an internet darling and everyone's favorite, he was our favorite.
Right.
And he was our little buddy. He's our guy. Man, unfortunately, he smashed his legs at a GCW show in California. But what was the name of that show, Dalton?
LA Confidential.
LA Confidential. I think you're right. He was wrestling Eli Everfly. Is that his name?
It's Everfly, yeah.
Okay. He was wrestling this guy, and they did this spot where I think they put like a door or something in between two spots, and they did a Canadian Destroyer through it. And unfortunately for Marco,
it was off the stage. It was like off a stage, and there was chairs set up propping the door, but then there was another stage like right on the. Right. There's another platform or something right across.
And when Marco took the Canadian Destroyer, unfortunately his legs smacked that other part of the stage, and I actually don't know exactly what he broke. I know he broke something. Was it his fibula?
Yeah.
Fibula or tibula?
Fibula.
Fibula.
Sure.
Broke his fibula. Marco, unfortunately, is out 6 to 8 months. And that is extremely sad for us because we are such big fans of Marco. And again, before Marco was a wrestling superstar, he was just our friend. We saw him at the shows. I still remember the first time Marco walked up to us. It was he was training in the ring with Austin. You remember this? And he walks up and introduces himself. And I turned to the guys. I was like, is that Austin's kid? Because I didn't know. And Marco became such a huge part of CCW and a huge part of wrestling now. It just sucks so bad to see him get hurt right when his rocket ship is taking off.
Yeah, because he was very much like gaining more and more notoriety. Like he really impressed and introduced himself to a lot of people at a GCW show a few months ago.
Lost in New York, I believe
led to being at the over the budget Battle Royal at All In, which is the biggest indie show of all time.
Yep.
It was, and he's just been going more and more new places. Like if I follow him on Twitter, see him post on Facebook, like making his debut at like so many places every month it felt like. But then of course like still coming and being the CCW champion. And like I guarantee you like he could be on bigger shows.
Yeah.
Those nights.
But he's loyal to
But he stays loyal to CCW, which says a lot about him.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is it's a heartbreaking thing. Like I woke up that Sunday or whatever day it was after the night after or the morning after it happened, and like I saw his dad post about that it had happened. I was like, well, holy crap. The good thing about it, though, is the silver lining is that there are ways that you can help out. Not only Marco, because, like, we have the GoFundMe up for Brandon, but, like, Joey Ryan's hurt right now. Tennille Dashwood.
Joey
Janela's hurt. There's a lot of...
Takahashi is still dealing with his neck.
There's a lot of people that are hurt, and there are a lot of ways that you can help. Pro Wrestling Tees did something that I think is super cool. They actually have a dedicated page to injured wrestlers so that you can go and buy their merchandise, support them while they are unable to perform, because a lot of these people, this is their sole source of income.
Yeah.
And if they're not able to make appearances and wrestle at shows and get booked, then they're not making money. So this is a really good way to be able to help them out. I don't know if the deal is still going on or not, but
Till the end of November. Savage, are you talking about Savage Stash?
Yeah. Okay. So that's by the time we post this, because
You'll have like one day.
you'll have like 1 or 2 days to go to Savage Stash, get yourself a fanny pack, and 50% of those proceeds will go to Marco. Also, I'm sure this is still open. Get a hold of Marco on Twitter or Facebook, and if you PayPal him $2, he will send you the X-ray of his leg.
Which
That is some carny bullshit, and I love it. It my heart.
I don't know if
I saw that and I cracked
How
up.
come? I should we donate to it and get that picture?
If I had a PayPal, I would. Otherwise, like, someone has a PayPal, I will just give you $2 cash and send that to Marco.
Share it.
I don't know if he took it straight from Jordan Grace, but she did a very similar thing like 4 weeks ago, where it was like, PayPal me $1 and I'll send you the creepiest DM I've ever gotten.
Yeah, but she does like that is like, I don't know if it's a Patreon tier, but Jordan Grace does that where she will, like, if you pay her, she will send you the creepy, like, the wildly, insanely inappropriate messages she gets on like Insta and Twitter.
Which is insane that people would ever speak that way to another person.
The greatest thing is I just followed that thread for the entire day, and the very next day was, well, I posted a joke yesterday and now I have $99 in my bank account. It's like that's good. But yeah, no, I just checked Pro Wrestling Tees. Marco has 3 of his shirt designs up. He has the King of the Playground, his Rugrats, and then his October Child's Play. So that Rugrats shirt is all over Cape Girardeau, Missouri.
That's a great shirt.
That is an awesome
Fantastic shirt.
I don't know if he does, but I think he had a shirt deal with What a Maneuver, where he also had another shirt on there. But I'm not 100% sure on that one. But yeah, no, like, if you can support him, do so. If you can support the other wrestlers that are injured, also do so, because, like you said, it's their only source of income right now, which really sucks, because they would rather be doing.
Oh yeah, of course,
yeah.
Unlike the Hulk Hogan's and Outsiders, when they got their contract paid out by WCW and they didn't have to do anything, they could sit home and collect money.
Right.
Marco's absolutely the kind of guy that would want to get in the ring and wrestle. Right. That is his passion. You know that.
Oh yeah, anytime you talk to him, like, you can tell that there's a reason that he is legitimately, like, he's very much burning the candle at both ends, but it's because he loves this so much, he cares about it so much, and he wants to make as big of an impact as possible. And
you're right about burning the candle at both ends, because I don't know how many shows we've seen him at since he took off where he's just
exhausted.
Tired. Because when we knew Marco before,
where Austin Lane has to, like, yell at him to take a nap, because he just didn't sleep the night before.
We used to do, like, the interviews with CCW, and Marco would always jump in. He would, like, be obnoxious.
Oh God,
yeah. Marco was a little prankster, and now Marco could barely lift his head before the show because he's so tired.
But when you're just watching the matches, you could never tell.
Yeah, dude. It's that old thing of, like, when the spotlight turns on, you're a different person. You turn it on, and Marco's so good at that. Everyone is, really. But, yeah, I really hope Marco recovers, and I have no doubt that when he does recover, he will be better than ever. Yeah. Like, he is going to – I just hope this doesn't hurt his momentum. That is my biggest fear. Like, I don't want this to hurt his momentum. I want him to get that rocket ship and just fly into space.
Honestly, without saying too much, because I don't know what technically, like, people are supposed to know, I think that he has made such a good impression on a lot of very influential people that I don't think that's not gonna be a huge issue for him. Because Marco is the nicest guy, and he's one of the hardest working people you can meet.
His whole family.
Oh yeah, no.
His whole family is incredible.
And the only reason I single out Marco is because I know that, like Bailey and his dad and his mom and like, they don't get to go to every show. Like, like, usually, like, for CCW, it's close enough that everybody comes, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's always
but
good
I know,
to see
like, they weren't able to go with him out to California when he got hurt.
Right.
Like, eventually arrangements were made that he was able to.
Yeah, didn't GCW or Joey Janela himself pay for Dwindle
they helped,
to go?
That was one of the things I was kind of talking about. I was like, I don't know what all they want necessarily out there,
yeah.
but because we don't know fully, but I know that they helped.
Flashy thing, everyone listening.
Yeah, they did, but they did help, which is amazing. Like, that is an incredible gesture. And like I said, like, it's because Marco made such an impression on them. That that is a completely unnecessary step that they didn't have to take, but they did. So I do think that Marco will have. Of course, he will always be at CC. Like he will always be a CCW regular as long as he wants to be.
Yeah.
And
let's just not do, if he comes back in January or February just to hang out, let's not do like what Jackson did, where he's taking shots to the leg by Ace and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's like, I had surgery like 3 days ago, but just click my knee. Just clip my knee.
All right, who's going to stop him?
Austin.
Dang
it.
If he's not there.
Okay, Austin, come visit.
Did I tell you that story when we were planning the belt shot? Mm-mm. We were going through like me hitting Marco with the belt, and Austin pulled me aside and he told me, if you hurt him, I will kill you.
Can't confirm.
Yeah, because I got warned like 3 different, like if you hit him or you cut him with this, I will be your personal issue.
Precious cargo is the term we like to use.
Then I floated right over his hair.
Good on you.
Wait, you didn't make contact?
No, I made contact.
No, he crushed his head, dude.
Yeah. Okay. Because okay.
Yeah, no, he crushed him. I'm surprised Marco got up after that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he did.
I totally earned that pile driver I got right after it.
So.
So we clearly we would have talked about this last week, but again we took the week off. So
right. And it's weird. It's weird being here at Gaming Grounds. I had a girl come in. She's a delivery girl for I think Jimmy John's, and I know her from CCW. I'm pretty sure she knew my name, and it's one of those things where like I have the worst memory. I will recognize a face, but names are lost on me. So I'm not gonna try to get her name because I'll forget it. But when she came in, she said, "Oh, did you hear about what happened to Noah?" And I was like, "No, what?" And she starts telling me he broke his leg doing this, and I forgot that their real names are different from the wrestling names. And I thought you were talking about Noah Hudson, like the kid that comes to CCW. So I was like, "What happened to Noah?
No,
is he okay?"
Nothing has happened.
All right, so check out Marco on PWTs, and if nothing else, shoot Marco a message of encouragement.
Yeah,
because he loves getting fan feedback. He loves the fans, truly loves the fans. So everything we can do for Marco.
Yes.
Let's move on, though. We got other things we want to talk about here tonight. Let's just get this other sad news out of the way real quick because it is very sad. Adam Copeland, Edge's mother, passed away. I saw this.
Yeah.
Did we see this yesterday or earlier today?
I saw it this morning.
I think it was earlier today when he posted it.
And that's just extremely sad.
He posted a really, really touching tribute to her on Instagram. I would assume he might have also put it on like other social media places, but like Instagram doesn't have the character limit or anything. And it was very... it was also very like honest. Because one of the takeaway line that really stuck with me is that he wishes she had more time to see the man that she helped make him, like the one that she knew he could be, that he wasn't for a while, but now he's grown into it. And it's like, oh, that's...
I didn't read it, and I can't read it.
Right.
Like, when it comes to... And not a pity party, but when it comes to, like, mothers, especially, like, really emotional stuff, it kills me.
Yeah.
It kills me every time. I feel really bad for him. Like, anyone that's lost a parent or a loved one in general.
Yeah.
Like, it's awful.
Yeah. And it's one of those, like... I watched... Anytime I've, like, listened to Edge do something, he talks lovingly about his mom. Like, his mom was the one that, like, she made sure he had tickets to WrestleMania 3.
That was one of the things that he mentioned in that Instagram
yeah, it's
post.
just like,
I want to be a wrestler. Do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy for you to be, your kid's like, no, okay, yeah, but do something real that you can,
Wrestling's not
support
a career.
yourself and, like, be an adult.
One of my least favorite angles of all time was when they used Jerry Lawler's mother. Who was it? Was it Miz that made the comment about Jerry Lawler's mother after she passed away? And he said, if you ever talk about my mother, something like that. It was like a week after she died, too.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
It was on Raw. It was a throwaway.
It doesn't surprise. It doesn't surprise me at all because it's WWE.
Right, and I hate when they do that. Like it's like when, and this is not a mother thing.
That's one of the things we didn't get to talk about. Was Ambrose talking about Roman?
So Edge's mother passed away. We're very sad about that. We really are. Condolences too.
Put a pin in it. We'll get back there.
Well, I was actually going to say, but let's move forward and let's talk about it for a second because that is something that we legitimately, the day it happened, we had a huge discussion about it. And
I wanted to be wrong.
Dalton, you go ahead. You got the smile. You got this one.
I hate that I'm right.
So what happened was Ambrose said on Raw, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, it wasn't this past Monday. It was the Monday before.
He said that because of everything the Shield did, that Roman Reigns now has to answer to God, and Seth Rollins has to answer to him, which, to be fair, is a good line. In a movie, that would be a fantastic line. Like, if it was all scripted, that's a good line.
Right, if Roman really didn't have leukemia.
If Roman was just taking like a 2-year vacation.
And they just were really tasteless with their story,
yeah,
I'd be fine with it. Because, because even when The Shield was popular, I remember thinking, like, because they made me a mark. I was like, well, they keep calling themselves the Hounds of Justice, but they're doing bad things. So Dean Ambrose is right. He hit the nail right on the head. Like, everyone loved him, but they were awful people. And now, the reckoning has come for them. But not when Roman Reigns actually has cancer.
Yeah, it's that thing. It's something we talked about with like when Paul Bearer died.
Yeah.
And it was the CM Punk Undertaker feud. You have to believe that Roman doesn't care.
Right, he's probably fine with it.
Like Roman, like at all is anything he can do to contribute to Dean and Seth's story, like he will. My problem. Someone on Reddit pointed out, like, because they made a comment where it's like, wow, everyone said they wanted like really evil Jon Moxley, but now we get it, and everyone's like, oh, that's too far. And I think the other half of that promo was him spending 5 minutes talking about how stinky whatever city they were in was.
Yeah, because I was watching it with Jason,
and it's like. No, that is too disjointed. If you're going to go for it.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Don't do this JBL is poopy nonsense. Also, you have cancer, haha. Like, it's so, I don't know. It's
disjointed, like you said. It doesn't flow right.
But like when it's being disjointed is one thing. When you go, but when you use like cancer as like I would deal with him too, but God has that one. I think he said the man upstairs. Either way.
He's answering to the man upstairs.
Yeah, but like...
immediately followed by like a Susan G. Komen commercial or something. It's like,
Yeah, they wheel the kid commercial out, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how to feel right now.
Yeah.
I was really upset when I heard it, because I was like, I wanted to be wrong. You don't know how bad I wanted to be wrong this one time.
I don't know where I stand on it, because I'm a firm believer that, and I've said it before many times, I've used a lot of offensive jokes on past shows and in life. Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to tag up what you're going to say.
To me, it's like this is a scripted show. Mm-hmm. It is entertainment, and either everything should be up for grabs or nothing should, especially like with comedy. Mm-hmm. You can make fun of everything, or you shouldn't be able to make fun of nothing. Yeah. So I feel that way. Like, that's how I want to feel, because from an entertainment standpoint. But as a person, it makes me itchy. I don't like it, because cancer is not a joke. It's not something we should reference in wrestling. Yeah. Dalton, go ahead.
Now, if like somebody on the It's Always Sunny cast got cancer, like in real life, they would probably do a joke about it.
Oh, they absolutely would.
They would. But
that would be a season arc.
Yeah. So here's the thing. That is a TVMA now rated show.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Which, that is what it is. We've had that discussion on the Thursday show.
Yeah.
Of if you want to watch, that's fine. This is a PG, hard PG.
Right.
Where, you can't throw chair shots to the head.
Right.
But we can make a comment in a storyline aspect about somebody actually having cancer. That's where the difference is. When you're PG, you can't. There's a lot of things of off limits. Yeah, including swears and certain violent things. Yeah, but certain innuendo.
But I think that's where the PG kicks in, is that it doesn't have the curse words and stuff like that. But storylines themselves, I've seen kid shows that deal with cancer. I've seen
right.
You know what I mean?
But they don't. But they openly mock the person that has cancer.
Yeah, but he's a bad guy. So like I said,
no, sir.
No, he is. Haven't you seen what he's done to Seth Rollins the past few weeks?
No, what I'm getting at is I don't care if he's a bad guy. You don't use it in that. If it's a PG show, you don't use it in that sense.
I mean,
PG-13.
Different Strokes.
Yeah.
Had the kids almost just get straight up molested
by the bike guy.
Smart guy had that too.
PG-13 film. Is this acceptable? You've got a war veteran.
You are completely negating the fact that what I'm bringing up.
War veteran. Okay. PG-13 movie.
All right, I'm in.
And he's handicapped at this point. And
how handicapped are we talking?
The main good guy makes fun of his handicap because he doesn't have any legs.
Goddamn.
And
you're fucking Forrest Gump.
Will Smith.
You are a piece of...
He says, he makes fun of him not being able to stand up at attention. Dr. Loveless, was that okay?
I was going to say, who did Will Smith play in Forrest Gump?
I heard no legs, and I went to Lieutenant Dan.
No.
I didn't realize.
No, I'm talking about Dr. Loveless, Kenneth Branagh, and Wild Wild West, who literally had nothing there. Yeah. He was a torso.
Stand at attention. My stepdad loved that, and now that I'm older, I realize it's not because he thought Will Smith was funny.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got what you're saying now. Moving on.
So I mean, I don't know. It's that thing where it's like I hated it. I get why they do it, and like it's hard for me to say that they can't.
But it feels cheap.
But it feels
cheap.
It just feels unnecessary.
It's like it's not as bad as obviously, but it's like when Corey Graves' brother uses homophobic slurs, or if you were going against a black person, you said the N-word or something. Like clearly you'll get heat for it, but like it's cheap heat.
But it's the worst kind of heat,
right?
Because it's real.
And it's the thing where we talked about it last week, where it's like WWE as a storytelling. Like in their history of storytelling are not equipped or talented or subtle or nuanced enough to be able to get away with telling these types of stories.
Because JBL is poopy.
To be fair, this was the most subtle one I think they've ever done. He literally just said he has to answer the big man upstairs because what we did was so awful that now punishment has come for us. That's actually probably the most mature thing I've ever heard them say about it. I still don't like it, but it didn't get too bad. Allie?
I think the main issue, and I think I made this point before, is with movies, because you're kind of comparing this to shows and movies, is that they are completely disjointed from reality.
Yeah.
Wrestling is not.
No one thinks that Tom Cruise is actually just doing nothing but sprinting down hallways and riding motorcycles.
To be fair, and I'm being dead serious here, ask any soap opera actor how many times they get confronted by people on the street about what their character did in the show. That actually does happen.
Well, yeah.
No. But then you can tie that together.
Saying. That's not what she's saying at all. What she's saying is
that no one believes it.
No, what I'm saying is that when they're writing the show, they're writing it as people should not believe that this is real.
I know. And
when they write wrestling, they're going, we want to present this as reality.
Look at any
But are they presenting it as reality?
Look at any professional wrestler's Twitter or social media. Half of it is, this is something that happened to me today. The other half of it is storyline.
Yeah.
And they very much blur the lines of reality and fiction.
Oh, they 100% do. Yeah, you're right about that. You're
that's
right.
what she's saying.
Yeah. And I hate that too because I feel like who were we talking about this with? Was it me and you, Dalton, or me and Asa last night? We're talking to Jesse and Trevor from Nerds for Hire about like Sandman. When Sandman was blinded in ECW, he spent months at home.
Went out in an eye patch and like used the walking cane. The guy who like crawled 10 miles with a broken back after a plane accident so that people wouldn't know that he was on the same flight as his hated rival.
Remember when Hacksaw Jim Duggan got busted along with Iron Sheik? Like that was huge trouble.
Also, shout out to Jim Duggan, who should be getting out of ICU or is out of the ICU now.
It's good.
Yeah, hopefully he's either getting out or out.
I think because he was either about to get out or he just got out.
I always loved Jim Duggan.
Jamie John D, Bill Dundee's son, he would tell stories about like Memphis wrestling where like Jamie would get in the ring and like the heel would do something bad to him, and then Bill would make him wear the neck brace to school because he was like still in middle school, high school. It's like, you better have that damn neck brace on.
What happened to you? Don't ask.
The thing was though, they knew.
Yeah,
everyone knew.
But it's so different now, the rise of social media, because that is their legit social media accounts. It's not like, because a lot of guys from CCW will try this, and I tried it too even. I'm still trying it terribly, where you have your account, this is actually you, now here's your entertainer account.
Oh, F that noise.
Yeah, because you just post it all from your actual page anyway. It's so hard to keep that dual life.
This is something that I was thinking about a couple weeks ago, and anyone from CCW or Stride or any of the actual like wrestlers that we have met or haven't met that listen to us, I would be fascinated to know. Let's assume the Attitude Era didn't happen like it did, where that curtain was drawn back, because that's kind of when that started to happen.
Yeah.
Let's assume that just never happened, and up until Facebook and Twitter and social media kicked in, do you think wrestling would the progression that we've seen, would that just be happening now? Or how do you think that, I'm fascinated to speculate what would have happened in an era where everyone has a camera in their pocket all the time.
Well, I think
how would that have changed the wrestling business, knowing, like, let's assume like wrestling's predetermined, it's scripted, whatever. that was not common knowledge like it is now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the people who hated wrestling would always just say it was
It's fake, yeah.
But
Vince McMahon actually went on TV and said it.
Right. They were doing everything they could. Like Jim Cornette's wet dream, his ideal, like his utopian future is what we've been living in. Except now over the last 10 years, as technology has progressed and with the rise of social media and the rise of, and smartphones,
right,
and cameras and video being able to record, like, where do you think that would be?
Well, not only that, but social media itself, where like wrestlers can post stuff.
Now it would just be like Becky Lynch on Twitter, just talking mad shit, just all day, every day.
Yeah.
Becky Lynch Twitter is the greatest thing in the world.
Right.
Well, like if that is the case, if we didn't have that, okay, the curtain's back.
The main point, I got really rambly there. Do you think they would have embraced it? Do you think pro wrestling as a community would have embraced it and been like, okay, yeah, you know what? At this point, it's too hard to keep up the act. So we are going to do like what they did where they're slowly trying to pull the curtain back? Or do you think they would try even harder to maintain the secrecy and be like, okay, so no more cars? Because if...
I think social media itself would have ruined that.
Would have completely ruined it. Because I do too. That's how I think. I do too. I think at a certain point they would have been, but I think it would have been more. There
would have been a struggle. I think there would have been a gigantic struggle, and it would have into keeping kayfabe alive.
And it would have been way more shocking. Like it would have, because I'll admit I was too young to really appreciate when that reveal hit, because I can't think of a specific moment.
I can, but it's I read it wrong. Mm-hmm. I was on like a random website on the internet whenever I was like in 12th grade, or not 12th grade, like I was like 12, mm-hmm. and it was on a Tuesday back when SmackDown was on Thursday, mm-hmm. and it was everything. It was right after Kurt Angle got chokeslammed from Big Show off of the fucking.
The Titantron?
Not the Titantron. It was the backstage segment when they put him in the wheelchair.
Yeah. Off the entryway catwalk.
Yeah. And I was trying to figure out, like, is he okay? Because it was still real in my brain. Mm-hmm. And then it was I found a website that said everything that happened on SmackDown, and I was like, well, how do you know that already? I didn't know SmackDown was taped. That's what I'm getting at.
I think I had the same revelation.
So like my brain equated it to predetermined at that point, because of course I then watched SmackDown being like, and I printed it off because like everybody's family had a printer.
So you just walked into the living room like, I bet Big Show wins this match.
Why does Rene Dupree out here? Why would he even be out there for this? This is obviously what the fuck? No.
The last time I ever got tricked by wrestling into thinking it was still real was when Shawn Michaels was in the ring. He was fighting Owen Hart, and he does his, turn in the ring, whatever, and then he does the, I'm hurt, and he falls down, and they said he had a concussion or whatever, and the next 20 minutes they spent on him getting him out of the ring. I thought, oh my God, is he okay? And that was the last time I ever remembered thinking that way. But I do want to point out that I think that there still would have been people like the Bucks, and there still would have been people like the Kenny Omegas and stuff who used social media and evolved with it to use it as a tool in wrestling. Even if they hadn't drawn that curtain back then, by now, that generation of wrestlers would have torched that curtain.
See, and this is where I'm going to say that I think you're kind of wrong, because with the situation that you're bringing in hand, where this, like, the curtain coming back happens like 10 years later, roughly, you would still have promoters that would not tolerate that. Because I mean, look at like.
Well, yeah, but he's not saying that he's not saying everyone would have. He's just saying like there are people who would have embraced it.
The revolution would have happened no matter what.
It would have, but I don't think. I think it would be like another 10 years from now, where like we would have like.
It would be
that,
weird
what we have now. I think it would set everything back 10 years. Basically, what you're saying. It would set everything back 10 years.
Yeah, because if it was the way it was then, if it was now the way it was then, we wouldn't be doing this show right now. Dalton or I would have had to have left. Probably me. Dalton and I wouldn't be friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
Allie and I wouldn't be in a relationship on Facebook. We would have had to kept that so... Because if you're trying to
I couldn't go to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have had to take sick days.
Or you'd have to do a mask when you wrestled.
You definitely wouldn't have been able to be like in the ring for photos and stuff after the show.
Right.
Like
it's
we got to talk after the show or after the podcast about that.
It's crazy
to
think.
Talking to?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think how different things would be if they still had that curtain.
Yeah.
Like how different wrestling would be now.
Part of me almost kind of wishes that like I would. That's like in The Good Place. That's what I would use Janet for. Is I'd be like, show me the universe that like, show me the universe where this happens.
Where kayfabe's still alive.
What if Vade Hansen actually like debuted? I want to see how that would have gone.
We would just be
Who
like,
was the higher power of the Nexus? I want to see all these hypotheticals of how that would
who
have
was
gone.
the anonymous Raw GM before it became stupid?
Well, remember GTV? I'm still waiting for that one.
It's coming. Keep waiting.
I've heard it was Gold Dust, but that was never verified. Anyway,
I wonder if they talked about that to Something Wrestle. Do you guys listen to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard?
no.
It's really good.
I don't listen to any podcasts, including this one. This one's the worst.
I mean, this one would kind of be redundant to listen to.
Yeah, but some people like the sound of their own voice because some people are petty.
Allie.
I hate the sound of my own voice.
I'm not gonna lie though. Pre-show Alley tonight is some of my favorite Alley.
Pre-show Alley is always my favorite Alley
because we got like full sassy Alley.
Yeah, it's like whenever it gets official, she gets like really proper. But when it's just a free for all, she is nuts. That's why you guys need to spend $1 to get the pre-shows to see true. Alley's Gone Wild.
Caleb Tripp, if you're still listening to us,
Oh
I
my
need
God.
that Photoshop.
That's what we need to rename that Patreon. That
Alley Gone Wild.
$420.69 Patreon tier.
She's throwing down F-bombs. She's eating hot dog pie.
Ew.
It's nuts. All right. Speaking of things that are nuts and it'll never
Alley
happen.
Gone Wild would still decline hot dog pie. Like, no.
God, it sounds so gross.
We'll get
But not like in a food way. It really doesn't.
We'll get enough.
I thought you were talking about Alley Gone Wild.
It sounds so gross.
I was like, what the?
I can
No,
see the
hot
commercial.
dog pie.
I wish Jesse
Sounds-
was listening because it's that commercial where it's like you thought Allie was wild before, and then they played the Caribbean drum.
Yeah.
The steel drums.
Well, because we all watch Comedy Central at 11 o'clock at night
yeah,
when, like, 10 years ago.
Speaking of things that are insane and will never happen, we're just going to throw this in real quick. Jesse Ventura, the body, said that, well, he's not really the body anymore. That's for sure. He said that
Jesse the Corpse Ventura.
he is either considering or he has officially decided to run for president in 2020.
Don't say it's insane. It will never happen.
No, because Jesse... all right,
6 years ago, we were making the same.
I don't want to make it political. I'm not going to.
not been 6
but
years.
Donald Trump...
2 years, like when he said, I'm running.
Oh,
that,
gotcha.
that
Okay.
was stupid.
Fair.
Donald Trump appeals to a certain demographic that is prevalent in the United States. Jesse Ventura speaks to a very small group who listen to I Want to Believe on the Podzilla 1985 network.
It's the only show they like.
I love Jesse Ventura. I really do. I think he has a lot of good points. Jesse Ventura was the first person I ever heard that said a two-party system is ridiculous, and it is. When you have two parties, that's
You just create.
He's the first person you heard say that?
he's the first one I heard say that, like in a celebrity status.
Okay, that's
Yeah, no, because I said it for years,
Right.
and I'm like, oh, this guy.
that's
makes
why I
sense.
was like, you are you pay way too much attention to politics for Jesse the Body Ventura to be the first one to break that ground
Hey.
for you.
Former governor of Minnesota, Jesse the Body
He's the
Ventura.
governor.
I'm not saying anything about the man. I'm just saying that's not exactly a hot take
I just like
that
adding
someone
the
like
extra-
Shannon very much would have already known.
I truly believe that Jesse Ventura has a chance at winning if he selects as his running mate Carl Weathers.
Jesus.
In fact, if we can get the entire Predator team
Just
there,
the cast of Predator.
well, except Billy, he passed away last year, unfortunately, which is very sad. But Arnold's there. Oh, he can't run for president because he ain't American.
Yeah.
We got that dumbass law
You
change.
can get governor, but
He was the
Yeah, I was like,
governor
why wouldn't
already. All right, so yeah, Jesse Ventura running in 2020. We'll see if it happens. And it probably won't. Moving on to other just kind of real quick news. Over the weekend, we do talk about MMA occasionally, and Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz had their third fight, the end of the trilogy, in which Tito Ortiz, for the first time ever, beat Chuck Liddell and beat him into the ground. First round, it was a disaster of epic proportion to the point that it was embarrassing. It was disgusting. Dana White went after Oscar De La Hoya, who promoted it through Golden Boy Promotions, and I watched it. It was bad.
I have a question for Dalton here, just real quick, but I just want to point out, I saw this on Reddit, a few weeks, or clearly not a few weeks ago, but like maybe this morning even, of like a funny moment that happened during the weigh-in. And I wasn't paying it. I just saw the headline of Tito Ortiz, I already forgot, Chuck Liddell weigh-in. And I just scrolled past it. Because I was like, that's a really weird thing to be on page 6 of r/all on Reddit. Like, is it maybe an anniversary of when it happened? Didn't think anything of it. And then you started talking about it before the show, and I was like, what? That's a recent thing. Dear Lord. You said you were going to look for it. Did you end up seeing?
yeah.
Is it as bad as he's making it sound?
It's Dada 5000 versus Kimbo Slice was a better fight.
Let's put it this way.
CM Punk had better UFC fights than what this was.
This just came out as we're talking about this. This came out just a little while ago. Chuck Liddell suspended indefinitely after KO loss.
Yep.
That's how bad it was.
Why did he get suspended?
So, you want me to explain it?
Well, I'm going to read what they said real quick.
God damn it, he's going to explain it out.
The Iceman was suspended indefinitely by the California State Athletic Commission in the aftermath of his trilogy fight against Tito Ortiz.
I know the answer.
You go ahead, because I'm looking through it. They don't list it yet. Please.
So, at the end of every UFC, there are people that are suspended for a set amount of time based on the amount of injuries they have. So, if somebody like his face is severely
he's
bruised
in doctor
up,
jail.
Yeah, doctor jail. Yeah.
Okay.
Where like usually it's like, oh, that person has a shiner or he may be concussed. That person's going to be out for at least 3 months.
I heard
so suspended indefinitely means he's not going to be allowed in an octagon.
The reason I ask is because I hear suspended and I'd immediately think it's a punishment. Like, he peed dirty.
No, it's for his own good.
It's a medical suspension.
Yeah.
So he was suspended, a minimum suspension of 45 days, no contest, 30 days, no contact due to his KO loss, and he has to apply to fight again.
Yeah.
So he has to pass all the tests and everything because it was bad. Like
then Tito
was also suspended for 180 days until he's cleared by until cleared by physician for a fracture to his left shoulder and left knee.
So I didn't know he got injured.
Yeah, Chuck Liddell got knocked out in his last 4 fights in grisly fashion, according to this website.
Oh yeah, no. Chuck Liddell has like the last couple times he fought, he just got his bell rung every time.
Yeah,
it's amazing to think like when you go back to because like they were the groundbreakers of UFC.
They were the faces.
Like they were some of the first
faces.
biggest names in mixed martial arts.
The Iceman. Everyone knew the Iceman.
Especially for a mainstream audience, because I know because I know there are people like Roger who could name 12 people who were bigger, better,
the obscure fighters out of like some
I'm
little
talking
town,
strictly like mainstream.
The Huntington Beach Bad Boy was one of the most recognizable fighters.
But
the point I'm making is it's amazing to go back and not just in MMA and pro wrestling even, but like all sports. Like when you go back just generations of how much better just everybody has gotten because they're taking this groundwork that's laid by these people and they are the technology and how to train. They know exactly what they do. Now it is a legitimate science.
Right.
Versus just here's two big dudes that know how to hurt people are going to go try to hurt at each other.
They said this was the worst knockout since Don Fry, and I forget the other guy's name. He's from the UK, and I watched that fight because I'd never seen it. Don Fry, and I love Don Fry, by the way. He got punched probably 20 times in the corner, no guard, and before the ref finally called it. He's literally standing in the corner getting knocked over and over again, never fell down, stood there and took all punches.
It's also super important to note that
he was dumb as hell.
No, the Chuck Liddell thing.
And
the Chuck Liddell thing, he hadn't had a mixed martial arts match in 8 years.
Wow. Yeah, 2010?
Yeah, because I remember Rich Franklin lighting him up. I remember Shogun Hua lighting him up. I remember Rashad Evans wrecking him.
Do you know why he even fought?
Money.
Yeah, because I didn't know this and I found this out because of it. When Dana White sold his whatever of UFC to whoever bought it, people like Chuck Liddell, Forrest Griffin, and a couple other guys had basically quote unquote legacy contracts where because what they did for the sport, they were paid just because.
Mm-hmm. They would do appearances, like they would show up to UFC things.
Right, but it wasn't anything major. Like it was almost like a, hey,
they weren't having
friend,
to fight.
Here's money.
Yeah.
Right. Well, now that they did that, they canceled all those. So now Chuck Liddell had no income. So he went back to fighting at 48 years old.
Man, that's sad.
It's one of those like, it's super sad, and I get it. Because we are wrestling fans.
Right.
Like where we have like Ric Flair. But the real danger of getting in the octagon with somebody, because like, so whenever I interviewed Dan Severn, we talked about that. Because this last mixed martial arts fight was like 6 years ago. It's super important to note that he's like 57 years old.
Right.
He said like, I wouldn't mind getting back in an MMA cage, but I'm not wrestling a young guy. I'm not going to fight a young guy. I'll do a legacy match. That'll be easy. I won't die during that. Like,
well, shit, I don't know. This was a legacy match.
Well, like, yeah, but like also,
yeah, but Dan Severn probably is
not. He's not a striker. He will just wrestle the guy,
right?
Because he just knows how to wrestle. But whenever Dan Severn was talking about, he wasn't doing it for the money. He was doing it because he's like, no, I love contact sport. I love this. Where it's like, this is what Chuck Liddell knows. Like he can't do Dancing with the Stars again like he has before. Like he's gonna have to get back into an octagon or a cage or what have you. That's where his money is.
Yeah,
he's not the name that he was 10 years ago. To where he could just go do Comic-Con.
Or do commercials. He did the Icebreaker commercials, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Assuming he, let's assume he wasn't under this like medical suspension from California, but if a fight goes that bad, not many places are going to want to let him compete because...
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
I mean, it's exploiting at that point. And that's what Dana White accused Oscar de la Hoya.
Which is so funny.
It is.
It's hilarious for Dana White to be doing that, but...
But he's friends with Chuck Liddell, so he hated seeing his friend get beat up. But yeah, that he was just exploiting him for money. And
meanwhile, didn't Conor McGregor just have a fight for his company?
Well, moving on.
That's weird.
Let's not talk about it.
Real quick, just because we didn't get a chance to mention it all, James Ellsworth got in a lot of hot water. The only reason I'm bringing it up now is because he has released another statement.
Okay.
Well, I knew the first one.
So the quick of it is that he was accused of sending nudes to an underage girl.
To an underage girl on 15? Snapchat who he knew was underage.
Yeah.
15 or 16, something like that.
In the ballpark.
And his first statement was, I categorically deny all these allegations.
All right, strong stance.
Did you just say I category deny?
Because he said. That was his Twitter post. Was I category deny, and then he posted a thing like by his legal team that said, but he is it's supposed to be categorically, Dalton.
I was just like,
but he just said category. I category deny,
which is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's not a.
I was like, I don't like
not making a strong impression. It's a long statement. I'm not going to read the entire thing, but the big part of it is he talks about how he hasn't been commenting in public because that's been at the advice of his legal team, which is pretty basic. But the big takeaway from it, with whether or not this is true, but this is what his statement is. My attorneys have pinpointed a trusted witness who is willing to testify on my behalf. In addition, they have uncovered concrete evidence that supports my innocence and proves that without a shadow of a doubt, the social media accounts alleged to be mine are fake, and the messages from the accounts were fraudulently created without my knowledge or consent. So basically, he's saying these accounts that were messaging this girl were not him. These were other people's accounts.
But so I haven't looked at the pictures because I don't care to, obviously.
I haven't either.
But from all accounts that I read, that they looked like they were legit. Now I don't know for sure, so I'm not going to say they were. But
right. And it could be a thing that if someone is in his account, because he's kind of saying two things here. He's saying that the account that sent these weren't mine,
right? But
also the messages that were sent were not. I didn't send them. So it kind of like...
It almost seems like maybe someone...
I'm not saying... It's not saying that, because clearly if it's an account that's not his, then yeah, he had no say in these messages being sent. But it's also kind of like, but if it was my account, I am not the one who sent those.
It almost sounds like he's saying maybe that I'm playing devil's advocate here, but maybe he sent those pictures to someone. Maybe that person then created these fake accounts and sent it to somebody else.
No, and that's what it kind of sounds like is, or that's what I was saying is, if they have the ability to get into his accounts, or be able to make such detailed fake accounts, then it's not out of the realm of possibility that yes, he took these pictures,
right?
But
they
we're not
for this 15-year-old.
But they weren't intended for this person because how many times do we talk about nude leaks and things like that?
Absolutely.
Phones getting hacked, cloud storage being violated, stuff like that. So I just think that is something that because we would have mentioned it last week that these allegations happened.
Right.
So but I think it's important to also mention that now he also has made another statement. And
I want to know what evidence completely clears him. Because that was defiantly, I am 100% concrete.
Yeah.
This is an unpopular opinion, and I know I'm going to catch heat for it, but the girl that accused him, man, she seems like a trash bag. And I know that's unpopular. But here's why I say that before anyone attacks me. Because it's not a fact of this person did this thing to me and I want to have him, arrested or something like that. She is literally saying, message me and I'll send you DMs of the pics and stuff like that. Like, she is exploiting it completely, and she needs to be shut down as well.
Send me $1 via PayPal.
Yeah, it's I don't want to say she's begging for attention, but she is literally begging for attention for these pictures that were sent to her by whatever. And I'm not saying it was right to send it. It clearly isn't. Whoever sent it should be in trouble.
Also, she didn't say give me $1.
She did not ask for it.
Oh, okay.
No. It was just one of those things where I was like,
it's just the way
I was tagging it.
The way she's handling it is almost like mockingly.
It's almost like she's a child.
Yeah, it's like she's a child, and that someone should take responsibility for it. Is what I'm trying to say. She should not be on fucking Twitter saying, "Hey, I'm gonna send all these dudes out. Look at me, get this guy in trouble." Like, yeah, he's shitty if he did it, or whoever did it is shitty. But she is a child. Someone take responsibility and stop her from spreading it around.
Yeah.
That needs to be a thing. Is all I'm saying. I got what you said in the middle of it, and I felt like I had to keep going so that way I wouldn't just be derailed. And
You're too intense.
yeah, well, easy there. Don't stop it. In non-threatening news, Walter has signed with WWE. I love Walter. I thought he was really good in the Muppet movie.
Jesus, I knew you were doing that.
Thank you. I actually don't know a lot of Walter, but I've heard his name so many times.
He hits real hard.
Yeah.
What's he from? Like, where is he from?
Germany?
Austria. He's Austrian.
Shit.
He's Austrian?
Yeah.
That's where Schwarzenegger's
and he's
from.
he's going to be like he's going to probably be a staple of NXT UK. Like this isn't going to be like even a main show NXT or main roster
that's what
thing.
I heard too. I heard
because he's done multiple interviews before, which granted, Matt Riddle also did a bunch of interviews about not wanting to go to WWE, but he has just absolutely no interest in moving. Walter has no interest in moving out of Europe.
Because like he also like I can't think of the company name, but I think he's like a head trainer at a company in Germany, like Germany's biggest wrestling company.
So
maybe, I don't know.
The reason I giggled, when you said Matt Riddle, like you saw the clip of him from NXT where he said he made his debut.
Also, Botchamania. Yeah, he said he made his debut. And then Botchamania did what in the butt right after he did it. Yeah, because
what is debut?
Yeah, like man, Botchamania is amazing.
I had someone ask me about the envelope that their bill came in today. So that just
their envelop.
Or when me and Chad and Bob were playing, and Casper were playing X-Men, and
Evascrate.
What's Evascrate? Anyway, New Japan Pro Wrestling and AXS reach a new terms for their announcing.
Yeah, so there's been a kind of a shakeup with New Japan and Access TV because Access is where they
broadcast. Did I say AXS?
You did.
My bad.
Where Access is the one who broadcasts like the NXT events or not NXT, Jesus, the New Japan events. So now it is no longer going to be done after the fact. They're using the Kevin Kelly is going to be the lead broadcaster for those events, and that's what's going to be part of the Access TV show. Don Callis is going to remain a part for like the big events, and then there's going to be a rotating cast of
hopefully Vampiro.
No, not Vampiro. Also, definitely not JR or JR for sure, and Josh Barnett. Yeah, Josh Barnett are both out.
He's a UFC fighter, isn't he?
He was.
All right.
He's the one that got in Switchblade's face.
Yes.
At the event there.
Yeah, gotcha.
I'm about to find one more Bullet Club t-shirt.
I think I read. I need to find. I think I saw somewhere that Excalibur is going to be doing commentary for a New Japan show coming. He's doing commentary for some big event coming up, and I can't remember which one it was. I'm going to see if I can find that real quick. But that's cool. Kevin Kelly is a phenomenal commentator.
Yeah,
and so he
God, that's crazy, isn't it? He's that Kevin Kelly from like what was it, mid-90s WWF TV is so like revered.
Really just kind of really grown as a entertainer. So like that's a really really smart
I always
decision.
liked Kevin Kelly.
Yeah,
I always thought he was good.
Let me sorry, I'm gonna try to find what that Excalibur.
While you're doing that, we'll just real quick, NXT UK Takeover announced for Blackpool on January 12th.
Yes,
it's their first UK NXT show, like Takeover, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That should be. Is that going to be on the network?
Yeah.
Is that before any big pay-per-view or something? Or is this just a random
No, because
takeover?
Royal Rumble is towards the end of January.
It usually always is, yeah.
Oh, it is. So it isn't New Japan. He's supposed to be. Ooh, that's a second headline, but Dreamer versus Pillman in a Singapore Cane match announced for MLW. That's gonna be ignorant.
Oh, we didn't get to talk about Arquette versus Nick Cage.
Nick Gage, yeah.
Nick Gage.
Oh,
you just got to say that name right. We will get mad at you.
What a cluster that he ain't listening.
That's true.
What a cluster that was.
No, but someone will tell him that you mispronounced
Nick
Gage is wrong.
Gage, yeah.
He probably like felt it in the force right now.
Excalibur is going to be
he just heard in his head. He just heard like a whoop whoop.
Excalibur will be joining New Japan in a commentary role for the last 3 days of the World Tag League in December. That's cool.
I like that name, Excalibur.
He's super cool.
You gotta live up to that name.
He was one of the broadcasters at All In.
Yes, I remember that.
And does stuff in
he was one of the founding members of PWG too.
Yep.
Because it's him, Super Dragon, and somebody else whose name escapes me.
Super Dragon. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, him.
That guy. Yeah. Same. Super
that was
Dragon.
another one of my favorite Botchamania bits. Right at the very end, I forget what it was leading up to. It was like an old kid show, and the dragon pops out the ground and goes, "Super Dragon." That was because it was Soup Dragon. So they cut out the earth, so it just goes Soup Dragon. Very, very funny to me. All right, let's recap Raw and SmackDown real quick. We already talked about the Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins segment.
That was from last week. Did not shit happen this week.
Yeah, Raw was a cluster.
Other than
fire.
it is the 4th lowest rated Raw in the modern era.
Yeah, you know
and
why?
It has gotten nothing. Like, it has been. Even Cody was like, "Everybody's so negative. Was it that bad?" And his comments were just like, "Yeah, it was." I didn't watch any of it, but like
2 words.
And even reading what happened.
Baron Corbin.
Now, see, like
Reading what happened, like nothing sounded particularly offensively terrible.
and it's not that it wasn't terrible.
It's just Baron Corbin
it
was
was
all
just
over.
unexciting.
Yeah, Baron Corbin.
So my favorite thing they've been doing with Baron Corbin is they keep updating the nameplate on him. Whereas like it was Constable Corbin for a while. It said that on his nameplate, like on matchup screens. I'm assuming they've been doing this the entire time. Monday was General Manager Elect Baron Corbin. I laughed so hard at that. And they're doing a really weird thing where like they're saying the right and wrong side of history. Like if you're against Baron Corbin, you're on the wrong side of history, which was just weird because you literally said they
stole that from me.
Shannon said the exact same thing 2 days before, and I'm like, maybe I got hit in the head harder than I thought.
Now you know why I hate Baron Corbin. He steals my ideas.
You should go bald.
I actually don't hate Baron Corbin at all. I really don't.
No, I
but
don't either.
I truly feel like the especially the internet wrestling community is very lukewarm to him, and even the general wrestling fans are kind of lukewarm to him. And when you push him that hard on the show, like he's so significant, I think it kind of turns people off. Now, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve to be there. I like Baron Corbin, but I can see why people are like, "Oh, Baron Corbin was the focus." Baron Corbin?
My favorite thing is that there was probably a 2-week period where Dalton and I were on the same page when it comes to Baron Corbin. Because when he first showed up on NXT, Dalton really liked him. And it's not that I disliked him, I didn't get it.
Yeah.
He was doing those
They were counting the matches.
It was a cool aesthetic to have the crowd actually count how quickly his matches were going because he was obliterating people so fast.
Oh, I loved it.
And then
that was forever ago, wasn't
and then
it?
when
About 5 years, yeah.
When he started to finally get into more long form matches and get to do more and more, and then he also like his Twitter, like his social media presence, like and actually him getting to show some personality. I was like, oh, I actually really dig this dude. And I was like, yeah, see? And then we went to Money in the Bank.
No. It was the first wrinkle in like the swip swap and that was happening was WrestleMania when he won that godforsaken trophy.
The battle. Okay, yeah.
Because that was me legitimately hating him.
Yeah.
Because it was just like,
Who did you want to win that? Or was it just you just didn't want him to win it?
I didn't want him to win it because I wanted him to actually do something meaningful.
Oh, and that was supposed to be their meaningful thing, but clearly,
Yeah.
Yeah, because it meant the most to him. He
I legit hated him more when it was the very first time ever that I got to see Nakamura live. Been a fan of Nakamura for years.
And he's got that, and this is, face Nakamura. We get that amazing entrance.
Yeah.
3 seconds into it, and Corbin takes him out.
It's one of the first shows Lindsay ever went to, and I nudged her. I was like, "Oh, this is it. This is so cool." And then,
Corbin ruins it.
Ken Murphy was so happy. I wanted to throw him. I wanted to throw him off of the nosebleeds.
I also, but although that did lead to one of the coolest moments of the crowd continuing to just sing the song.
Yep.
But we got WrestleMania.
You got WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So that happened. Also,
Alexa Bliss was named head of the women's division.
Further speculating rumors that she is maybe going to retire. She actually had to go.
It's a rumor. I'm pretty sure that's just
No, I mean it's still very much a rumor. It's now they're in pretty much in the holding pattern of when she can be cleared again.
Yep, she started training again today, I think, for her comeback because she posted it on Twitter of her at the Performance Center and said day one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the big speculation is that she's done with wrestling, that she is going to now be in like a Paige type role, which is really weird because I didn't know it was that bad.
Here's the thing.
Well, and it's she had a lot, like she had a couple like real close together.
Yeah.
The one thing I hate in wrestling is division of labor bosses. Mm-hmm. She is in charge of one aspect of the entire show.
In fairness, they addressed that. They had her specifically request, like, so heel person goes up to other heel, hey, you're doing this great job, you're doing this job, you're doing great, put me in charge of the women. Yeah, it's dumb, and like, and I genuinely think that
Brooke Hogan.
Yeah, that's where my brain went.
But I think it's going to be more, I think what they can do is they will end up having Corbin be fired as
And she'll
general
become
manager, and she will become the new general manager of Raw. like of the entire show.
That's such a shame. She's gonna be great at it, but like
and again, that's assuming that she doesn't become cleared to wrestle in the next, in however long.
Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax did some stuff probably. I really don't.
Their first match was good, and honestly, like Ronda has only improved. So I think this match will be. Granted, the women's match for TLC, the SmackDown one is going to wildly outshine the Raw one. But that said, like it's not like I'm not looking forward to it.
Coming out of Survivor Series, there was a What Culture video that talked about how Ronda Rousey was legitimately upset about the fan reaction to her at Survivor Series because she got the whole.
Let's go, Ronda sucks. I don't know if it was that, but
it's party.
Sorry,
Wednesday
I was super
outside.
distracted by that. My bad.
Yeah, we got a lot of loudness going on Broadway here.
But yeah, she got the mixed reaction, and then they kind of like thank you Charlotte when she beat her down and stuff like that. And they said that a heel turn could be in the future for Ronda, which I think would be great. Heel Ronda would be much better than face Ronda because she's a killer.
Honestly, that could be. Dalton looks skeptical, but let me pitch it to you this way: you have the 4 horsewomen of MMA as the heels, and then you have a united front of the man Becky Lynch, newly found Edge
Queen.
Charlotte, and then throw in Sasha and Becky, Sasha and Bayley,
The besties.
who are on the same page now,
Yeah.
and are both faces. Like if you can keep those dynamics, you could that's money.
I mean, no, you're absolutely right. It would make sense because the other 3 right now are heel.
Yeah.
So it would make sense. It's just one of those like. It all goes back to WWE's thinking. I was wrong about Daniel Bryan. They turned him heel. But, like, WWE really likes making money. I'm waiting for that Pokestop to turn blue. So they like making money. It's a lot harder to sell a face shirt, or it's a lot harder to sell a heel shirt than a face shirt. When it's women, even more difficult. Because, like, they are catering to the kids. With Ronda Rousey, they are like laser pointed in on that young girl demographic of look at her. She's a legitimate ass kicker. You want her shirt. You don't want the rest of them. Nah, it's fine. You want Ronda's shirt.
But I truly believe, I truly do, that at this rate, the fans will turn on Ronda Rousey.
No, they already have.
Couple,
They're already doing it.
Yeah.
There it is.
Closure. In the next couple of months, I think Ronda Rousey will be getting the John Cena treatment, and they will.
No, she's already getting it. It's just at the beginning of it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's going to be full on. Like, it's going to get worse. Is what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
and you agree with that. They're going to have to do something with her, and they've already presented her as the ultimate badass who can't be beaten, kind of, and not all the time. She has this and that.
But when she loses, it's by a high level of shenanigans.
right,
Like,
they're
she
protecting her so hard.
Has she lost?
Well, like she didn't lose per se, but when Alexa Bliss came in and cashed in the Money in the Bank against, like she didn't lose.
No, but when you said like she lost, that's not me like trying to correct you. It's just I'm trying to think of like I don't think she's lost clean.
No, she is not tapped and or have been pinned for a 3.
Too much protection can also be a problem. It really can.
And like I can get if it is true, like Ronda being upset with that reaction because like I've been there. I will go into a show being a bad guy, and then when the bell rings and people are chanting for me.
What show do you go on where you're the bad guy?
Illinois.
They don't cheer for you over there.
I got a man bun chant last time. And then like,
but is that for you?
That's
or
not
at
really
you?
for you. That's
well, like no, but then like Mr. Anthony chants after it. Like
there you go.
That's happened.
Maybe they were just making sure that you knew it was
I
about
had a
you.
haircut.
It's like
but
when
then,
they chant "small dick" at me, and then they say my name to make sure I know it's me.
and then like, but in Cape,
because it could be other people.
Like in Cape when we did our thing this weekend, I watched the video back. There were people up clapping at the end of like me getting my haircut, and I'm supposed
Maybe they
to be.
appreciate good barbers.
He did a solid job.
He did.
Like, I'm not even a little upset by it. But like I've been there. I totally get it if she's upset.
Yeah.
And this is on a grand scale. Like I have like
this is like 50, 60,000 people
that are like, you deserve it. And mine's like, I have like 8 a-holes being like, that's funny. We hate your hair.
Hug it out. Anyway.
Like I get Rhonda being like, if she was upset, I would totally understand.
Plus, she got burned way too hard. She's been burned so hard by like Becky Lynch and stuff.
You have to burn her hard though.
Yeah, but like when her comeback is like, oh, the millennial, and then Becky's just like, when you lost and you go hide and cry for like a year, like it's like, that's a good burn.
But the thing of it is, that's only going to make her look better if she beats said person burning her. That was the whole WrestleMania 19 thing of like, yeah, no, Booker T is going to look like $1 million when he beats Triple H. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, like, wait, he lost? Okay, but it was really close, like. Oh,
yeah, like, no, he hit the pedigree and then pinned him after.
It was like 10 seconds? Oh.
No, it was like 15, 16.
Yeah. Oh. All right, what else happened on Raw?
We summed it up.
All right.
Allie
gave us the shrug.
Drake Maverick peed on Bobby Roode's
Are you kidding
robe.
me?
No, but intentionally. Like he stole the robe in a match and then put it on a toilet and then like peed on it. And then someone on Reddit called it the least subtle tweet of all time. And it was WWE had posted like a memory thing of like, remember Bobby Roode's amazing entrance? And he retweeted it and put the caption of, that robe has my piss on it now.
Because Drake Maverick is amazing.
I'm glad P is the center focus on Drake Maverick. Whether it's himself or someone else.
We didn't talk about Braun Strowman is legitimately having elbow surgery.
That's true, and there's plans that if he can't make it to TLC, what else they're going to
do? They're working on plans in case he's not cleared for TLC.
That's Baron Corbin.
Well, no, he's wrestling Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I'm about to say
it's Baron Corbin. He's going to win.
It'll probably be Balor.
Does Balor have a match yet?
No.
Okay.
Oh, baby, no.
SmackDown.
I know. How sad is that?
No.
SmackDown
was apparently much better.
What?
We got the super tease for, because I'm so hungry. It's going to be a TLC match.
Oh, Shecky.
Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Asuka. Triple threat. I'm here for it.
All day.
Give me that.
And tomorrow.
That match is going to be Allie. That match is going to be
awesome. I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry.
Sick. Like, sick. Okay. All right, Allie, that match is going to be
sick.
But
Braun?
Maybe he's not injured. And he knows how to say sick.
We also got, the Usos beat the Bar in a tag team match. Not for the titles. But now that's probably going to be the feud. Also, we got not even on the show. It was a pre-taped vignette of Cesaro like calling Big Show lazy and Big Show punching him. So that pairing's done.
That was so quick.
Why? What was even the point?
For that one moment.
For anything.
Well, that little man's pee distracted us and we lost because you're lazy.
I don't.
Little P man.
Little P-Man.
Idiots. All of them idiots.
Stupid savages.
Nakamura attacked Rusev before their match started.
Joe crashed the Jeff Hardy party.
Which I've been very wrong when I've made these bold predictions before. Like, I very much thought John Cena was going to call Undertaker Mark at some point. Like, he was going to use his name. Mm-hmm. I think we will get some sort of... he won't specifically say the incident, but there will be a very, very heavy-handed reference to Victory Road.
Did that sting a little?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did you hear what he said to him at the show?
Yeah, where he's like, I was popping bottles, popping champagne, pouring champagne, but you probably shouldn't drink anything, huh?
And then we were talking about his past 20 years on SmackDown, he's like, but you probably don't remember any of it.
Yeah.
So
here's a question. Why is this better than Ambrose talking about Roman Reigns? Because these are very legit. Like, he got a DUI. He broke his arm.
His house burned down, killed his dog because of drug related. It's been hinted at heavily. No one's ever said it.
Like, this is a very real, like, personal struggle that by some accounts is still going on. So why is it okay for this to get turned into a story?
Man, I don't have a good answer because my first answer was going to be because Roman Reigns didn't ask for cancer and everything Jeff Hardy did, he did to himself. But then I thought, no, addiction's a son of a bitch.
That's not how addiction works.
Yeah. Was that Dalton's answer too?
No. No. My answer is going to be because at the end of it, Jeff Hardy will get a punch Samoa Joe in the mouth. Roman's not getting that for another 3-4 years. We're going to get this payoff.
If at all.
It will.
He will.
Damn it, let me be optimistic.
No, I'm just saying.
If at all. Jeff's going to get this in 3 months. Hell, okay. Jeff may get this next week.
Yeah, but does that still make it right?
I mean, shades of gray.
I totally get what you're saying, though. That's something I hadn't considered, and that is a very good point.
Because here's the thing, like, they may have sent Roman a text. Hey, we're going to say this. Is it cool? And Roman was probably bro about it.
LOL, IDC.
Yeah, like that. Samoa Joe went up to Jeff with probably a writer or some writers did, like, hey, we're going to say this. And Jeff was probably like, I don't care.
Man, if someone
because like how many times have we seen a Jeff Hardy drug angle? What was CM Punk's?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just figured it out. In my joke answer was the true answer. It's because Don's got to go pee.
All right, Drake.
The joke answer is the true answer. The reason that it's not as big of a deal is because if you told people, general public, this person has cancer, they feel bad for him. Mm-hmm. If you tell them this person was an addict who did bad things, they'll condemn them. Mm-hmm. So it's okay to make fun of him.
Or if this person was an addict and is working to turn their life around, this person's being a dick to them.
Right.
Well, that guy.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we support the person who's trying.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, and that all makes sense.
It's
like
sad.
That is
it's a sad fact, but I truly believe that's it. But yeah, Raw, SmackDown, whatever.
Also, just real quick, if someone is actually writing Samoa Joe's promos, dear Lord, he has some of the best promo delivery.
He's vicious
ever. He has such a good way. Just the manner in which he speaks.
I read something that was absolutely true. They said that Samoa Joe is like the only person on the roster, and I believe it, that uses promos as a weapon.
Yeah. Because he's lost every pay-per-view singles match he's had in 7 months.
But he cuts so deep.
Did you see on Twitter Kevin Owens issue his challenge for WrestleMania?
I did.
Allie, did you see this?
No.
Very flashy opponent.
KO Mania 4, Kevin Owens versus Elton John.
Elton John.
Because he and his wife were at an Elton John concert waiting for it to start, and for whatever reason, the concert got canceled. So he's like, no one ruins my date night with my wife. KO Mania 4, Kevin Owens versus Elton John.
Well, it's because Shania Twain said that you have to beat Braun Strowman for me to play your favorite song.
Elton John's going to go over. And you know
yeah.
he will.
Well, yeah, have you seen
Kingsman 2?
He messed him up.
So NXT TakeOver was before Survivor Series.
Phenomenal.
It was a fantastic show. We really don't have
Holy
a ton
crap.
of time to go over every single little thing.
No, that's fine.
So great show. The main event was nuts. Ricochet, please stop doing double moonsault, flips.
I honestly think that is a show you can go out of your way to watch everything.
Yeah.
Because the 2 out of 3 falls match was great. I wasn't a huge fan of some of the booking decisions with the run-ins. Just because I thought that was a little bit clunky, but overall the match was great.
Yeah.
Velveteen Ciampa,
Hollywood
was
Velveteen,
amazing,
killed it.
Black Gargano. It took me a little bit to warm up to it, but once they got going, holy shit, that was a match. And then you had the War Games, which was again just
Sir Allie.
Sick.
That's a t-shirt.
Love it. Oh God, it is.
That's a t-shirt.
It's just Allie's face. It says sick. Caleb. Make it happen.
Then we t-shirts.
Then we had Survivor Series on Sunday, and I thought it was actually a pretty good show.
It was a good show. It's just the whole one. I don't remember. I don't think I said it on the show, but I definitely said it before as we were all watching it together, where I was like, I think they're gonna let Raw sweep them. And then I was like, oh wait. And then SmackDown won the tag match. It's like, oh well, there goes my theory, and everyone laughed. But then they proceeded to spend the rest of the night saying 6-0.
Because it didn't count because it was pre-show because the producers didn't know. One hand didn't know what the other hand was doing.
There was a miscommunication, so that led to SmackDown winning. Although, again, someone on Reddit had the best answer. There's one line you can throw in there, and it completely validates 6-0.
Go ahead.
SmackDown's tag team won the tiebreaker match. So if it had gone 3-3, if it had gone 3-3, then SmackDown would have won the tiebreaker. It doesn't actually count towards the total
unless it goes
to a tie.
That makes sense. I mean, it's dumb, but that makes sense.
But it's something they could. It's anything because you know what they did instead.
They swept it under the rug.
It's on the pre-show. The pre-show doesn't count. Which, by the way, how colossally ignorant and insensitive is that to every single talent you have who wrestles on the pre-show?
Yeah.
You are actively telling them, hey, go out there, put your life on the line, and we're going to say it doesn't matter.
And especially when
that is disgusting.
When you let Xavier Woods then wear shirts on SmackDown that say 6-1 and stuff like that,
and him constantly
they're trolling WWE, and does either WWE knows they're doing it and lets them get away with it?
They don't care,
or they don't know. They're just like someone's gonna point out to the man, hey, what's with that 6-1 shirt? What does that mean?
They know they don't care.
Which is sad
because good
on Xavier because it's funny as hell.
Because that is it's disrespectful. Like I said, to everyone who ever competes on the pre-show, it's super disrespectful to both shows' tag team divisions.
Yeah,
Because it doesn't count. Your match didn't count.
Right.
That's what they're saying.
In a whole show based around SmackDown versus Raw, the SmackDown versus Raw match you had didn't matter.
That's bad. That's embarrassing.
It's unacceptable to me. Like that.
And otherwise, the matches, they were good. They were really good. Couple things, and then we'll get out of here. Actually, we'll talk about CCW real quick, and we'll get out of here. I hate that Nia Jax won the women's match, and I know why she did. She's going to fight Ronda. They got to make her look strong. I get it. Like, don't get me wrong. I get the business. But I don't know why it bugs me that she gets to smile and be so presented as such a danger after she legitimately hurt somebody.
Can I tell you my prediction?
Oh, go ahead.
Because I honestly think that there is a chance it won't happen. Like, I understand that this is my kind of wishful thinking. It won't happen. I think Ronda beats Nia, like, immediately. Nia doesn't get an ounce of offense in the actual match.
Well, that's cool that they have Ronda bury her, and it should be Becky, obviously.
Well, I mean, it should be Becky, but this is oh, look how tough I am, and it is immediately put down.
If she wins the title, she won't.
No.
Never mind. That'll never happen.
No, because Charlotte and or Becky are going to win the Women's Royal Rumble, and they're going to challenge Ronda.
I 100% hated that Raw swept, by the way. Quote unquote swept.
Yeah.
What an embarrassment. What a shit show for SmackDown. And the fact that they followed it up with next to nothing on SmackDown.
Yeah, Raw made such a big deal. We swept Raw. We swept SmackDown. And Shane McMahon comes out and is like, wow, Miz is annoying, huh?
Yeah.
Shane's like, I'm the best in the world.
And
I will say I do very much enjoy Miz being pissy with Shane because he won't just accept that they're a team. Be like, just give me that third. I will put in 2/3 of the work. I just need you to give me the third.
Because Miz is the golden child.
Oh, Miz is amazing.
Last thing that I want to mention, and then if you guys have something you want to mention about it, but it's the same old things I hate about Survivor Series. No, Strowman's whatever.
I assumed you were going to hate that. Or you're going to want to talk
what
about
was
that.
the Strowman thing? I don't remember.
How
he put down 3 members in a row, or he eliminated 4 out of 5, but he put 3 down in a row, and then they just attacked him.
It's whatever.
And there were a couple moments that we joked about, like of the SmackDown tag match, someone got eliminated when they were literally arm's reach from they could have just reached over and smacked someone on the back
That's
of the
thing
head.
Is like, so Miz in the Raw versus SmackDown match, he didn't save Samoa Joe, but then he saved Shane right after. What is the logic of that?
Yeah.
Well, because you're about to lose another person.
Don't lose anybody. Don't lose anybody. If you have a chance to stop the pinfall, stop the goddamn pinfall.
The only thing I can say to that is if he had to have assumed
that Joe was
going to kick out.
Don't assume. Just don't ever assume.
You're right, yeah.
I have always hated about these Survivor Series matches of like, well, why didn't you help him? Why did you just stand there on the apron staring? Like, are you all amateurs that have never wrestled before? I hate it. But whatever, it is what it is. And I need to go back and watch some of the old Survivor Series matches because I don't ever remember being that pissy about it. But maybe it was been this way forever, and I just didn't realize it. You know, maybe I was a kid and I was just accepting of it. I don't know. I hated it. Let's talk about CCW. Real quick, and let's get out of here. CCW had Knockout November 3 over the weekend. It was the last show of the year. It was a fantastic show. I want to thank everybody that came out to Delta and watched. Again, we can't get too much into it. It was a lot of fun. Matches were great. Derek King made his debut in CCW. It was good to see Derek again.
He was like him and the Lethal Injection guys. It's the first time because I met Derek briefly at that AHCW show.
Right.
And he was super nice.
He was. I talked to him for 40 minutes backstage.
He's the one that broke the news that Santa wasn't real to me, so that hurt.
Are you okay?
I got there. It's fine.
No, it was a joke.
The stripper pole spin, not the stripper. So we got to talk very briefly, but actually talking to like him and the Lethal Injection guys about just like Red Dead and video games and just kind of
I interjected myself into the Red Dead conversation, and then everyone looked at me like I didn't belong. I almost crept out the back because I felt so bad, but. Yeah, Lethal Injection made their debut as well. They were really cool. Great, all 3 great wrestlers. Derek King is obviously like a kind of a. I don't want to say
he's a Memphis legend. At this point, like that's not.
You said it for me. And the show was just a lot of fun. Dalton and I got to do another segment together, which is always weird. Asa got to make his. Well, I don't want to say debut because you've been in the ring before.
No, that was the first time I've done it. The only time I've been in the ring was when we did the
PZ85.
when we did the PZ85.
But you're still in there. But this time you were in there and an interview segment, bringing out Jeff Odell.
I introduced Jeff Odell. I don't understand why it was me. Like that could have just been. That was just an extra step added. Which don't get me wrong, like. I appreciated it and I enjoyed I like that I get to say that like my first in-ring segment was with Jeff, Billy, and Derek King. That's super cool. But yeah, I was just like why doesn't Ken just introduce Jeff Odell? Like
Maybe
I'm not necessary.
I feel like
this.
it's grooming, honestly. Like with all that, we can't say too much, but with all this talk, I think you're gonna boom, and when you boom big.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom. Dalton got his hair cut.
Are you gonna blow me up? I don't.
Justin, I want to point out Justin Smart cut off part of Dalton's hair. It's not even a lot of it. He cut off a
That was
small
the thing. Is
segment.
like people are talking like you were bald now.
Yes,
Oh,
Sadie.
yeah.
Listening to that video of Sadie like, no! Like crying
In
out.
fairness,
Like, Jesus.
Let's agree that all three people in the ring at that time are all three assholes.
Oh, we're all assholes.
And like, there's not even a split second that Justin had been like, I'm cutting it all off, and I've been like, well, I mean, I'm already here, so
I feel like if the scissors had been bigger, he would have.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, I was told by Dalton, hey, you're cutting my hair. And I went, I am? This is the first
Yeah,
I've
like
heard
5
about
minutes before his match, like
So
he
then
was
it was
like,
like,
"Oh,
okay,
so you know they're cutting my hair, right?" And I was like, "No, well that's
All right, do we have
Cool.
scissors? No.
that was me.
Yeah.
back there.
Do we have scissors? No. Does anyone have scissors? And Jeff Odell's like, here, I got some. And it's
Pulls
these
out
little tweezers.
Kid scissors.
It worked.
But that was a lot of fun. We got to continue our story, and
I got to wrestle Justin. For
you
the
got to
first
wrestle
time.
Justin. He kicked the shit out of you.
Oh, I loved it.
Well, I loved it too. It was fun to watch. What's not fun was when he puts Dalton against the rope. He hits him with something.
I saved your ass.
Yeah, Mandy's over there filming it, and I walk over and I start shit talking Dalton. I don't see Justin coming, and all of a sudden a boot catches the side of my face. That was fun.
I saw it on Sadie because Sadie recorded it on her phone.
Yeah.
You can, because I remember
that was part of the match that I watched."
Yeah,
Was
so,
you just like walking away? Oh,
I
okay.
had the stare in my eyes like, oh my God.
I kind of knew that he didn't say that he was doing it, but I've been there before. I knew it was coming, and I was like, wait a minute, he's not choking me, right? Shit. Shannon's in front of me. So like if you watch it on like the video I have on my phone, you just see me like tap him on the shoulder right before it comes. So Shannon had like a split second to move.
So I only got clipped instead of clocked.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think my favorite part was when he had you over on the side and he was doing something, and I walked over and I kind of got in the camera. I was like, I think the first mistake you made was not shaking my hand. And then I heard Dalton just as he's getting picked up go, I hate you, and get dragged away.
Because I'm a dickhead.
That was a lot of fun.
Would Justin have kicked you harder, or is the beating King K. Rool going to be harder?
I think that
honestly,
Justin kicks harder because when King K. Rool gets in the ring with Simon Belmont, what I'm going to do to him,
Van Helsuk?
It's I can't now. I can't because Brain Donkey over here ruined my concentration.
Brain Donkey.
Bitch.
Brain Donkey. I know you wanted to say Donkey Brain.
You said brain donkey.
All right, show's over. CCW was fine.
Happy Rusev Day. Call it a night.
So we're done for the weekend. If we're done for the month, CCW Live. We did our last show today. We will be we announced, or Asa announced, and Ali announced the end of the year awards. We'll keep you guys posted on that. We want you guys to vote in it. Otherwise, we'll be back in January on CCW Live and with CCW. But PW will continue weekly, of course. We are going to get out of here though. We really do want to grab some food. So we want to thank you guys for listening. Asa's going to hit us with those plugs, and we got 9 more days until you're so embarrassed that you can't come back on the show for a little while.
Oh, yeah. I think you mean our celebration. Facebook.com/Podzilla1985. We got a poll up if you want to see us eat that hot dog pie.
Dalton.
You can give us a like. We gave you an impassioned plea last night, but make yourself known. Give us a like on Facebook. Interact with us. We love to find out who you are.
We love when you vote on our polls.
What did you think about? What do you think? Do you think Ambrose mentioning Roman is too far? How do you think pro wrestling would be right now if the curtain hadn't been pulled back? Until cell phones really took off. I want to know these thoughts. I want to know your opinions. So send us a message there. Post us there. Facebook.com/Podzilla1985. Of course, there's Podzilla1985.com. Go back, listen to any of the older episodes. Shannon joined Trevor and Jesse and myself on Nerds for Hire last night. We did a whole how to shop for your geek or the nerd in your life.
It was incredible.
It was a lot of fun. It was actually a lot of fun. And shout out to Trevor, who came prepared and had some legitimately fantastic ideas.
Okay, to be fair, I wasn't prepared because I didn't know I was going to be there.
I wasn't prepared because I saw the idea and I was like, I'll wing it. Also, I'm at work all day and it's busy season. So I didn't. But Trevor carried us on his shoulders like the best Sherpa. And then also patreon.com/Podzilla1985. Get in on the pre-show. It's $1. You get all the pre-shows that we do for the entire month.
Allie Gone Wild. Every pre-show.
Allie Gone Wild, any of the shows that she's on. She
does it completely sockless.
There is the...
Gross.
What?
Someone's fetish.
If you want to know who, that's a pre-show. That's a pre-show. You can also, we have the $1 Patreon. Look for our new tier for some sort of hot dog pie shenanigans. It's disgusting and going to be terrible.
And vote for it on Podzilla's page.
And then don't forget the most important tier that we have for $420.69. Allie will drop the F-bomb and we will send you that audio recording.
And depending on how much money you want to spend, she could be doing that after she eats the hot dog pie.
Yeah, you
With
spend
a mouth-
five
with a mouthful
of ice cold, pasty, hot doggity
Gelatinous.
goodness.
liquid yum.
Good night, everybody.